The best way to destroy your opponent is by ignoring him or her, as if the person never existed at all. The same applies for institutions as well as creative projects. However, much as they mock their ideological opponents, the leftists are now developing the same habit they once jeered at. Now, the Kerala story is capitalizing on this very flaw of theirs. Namaskar, welcome to TFIPost, your go-to destination for an alternative discourse on current events, and this is Animesh Pandey, who will tell you how the makers of the Kerala story left no stone unturned to make sure that the movie is not suppressed in any manner. So what are we waiting for? While writing anything about the success of the Kerala story would be less, the movie has decided to raise the bar a bit. In a welcome surprise for many, the makers of this film managed to have the movie screened at JNU and FTII. Now you might be wondering what's so unique about it? Well, both of them are known as the strongholds of the ideological left in India. In simpler terms, consider them the gulags of the East. Jawaharlal Nehru University has been quite notorious for harboring people with extremist ideologies, most of which have been hardly pro-Indian. On the other hand, the Film and the Television Institute of India, one of the premier institutes in India in terms of filmmaking, is no different. As such, when a film completely opposite to dogma entrenched in the campus is released, protests are bound to happen. However, to everyone's surprise, none of them were successful. Yes, you heard that right. The movie was successfully screened at both the institutes despite the ruckus created in order to prevent the same. The FTII in Pune recently hosted a screening of the film The Kerala Story on May 20, along with the entire star cast. However, a section of the students protested against the screening and created a ruckus at the campus. The screening was interrupted by raising slogans against the makers Sudipto Sen and Vipul Amritlal Shah. Later, the film was screened under police protection. Notably, FTII is the same body where students and freedom of thought are of prime essence, and these very folks tried to create a ruckus at the venue when the screening was on. I guess priorities. These protesters have believed to have a left-supporting ideology. Drums and slogans were raised to stop the screening. Notably, the supporters of the film raised slogans against the protesters like Bharat Mata ki Jai, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Bhavani Jai Shivaji, to name a few. Citing the tense atmosphere, a heavy police force was deployed on place. Well, I'm not a very big fan of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but he did say one thing right. First, they ignore you. Then they laughed at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Looks like the makers of the Kerala story have followed the same verbatim. Often there has been a grudge that the makers on the right side didn't go out all guns blazing or use the very institutions that attacked them to their advantage. However, we forget that Sudipto Sen has been a communist by his own admission, and only a communist knows another better. From the institutions to even the judiciary, the makers have left no stone unturned to make sure that the Kerala story is not suppressed in any manner, and it seems that they have succeeded by leaps and bounds.